Mark and Dave, KEX.
All right, let's get to it. The Mark and Dave voter pamphlet of the airwaves. We're interviewing mayors this week. Jefferson Smith joins us, the state rep and founder of the Bus Project, candidate for Portland mayor. And welcome to the show. Why do you want to be mayor?
It's my hometown. I want to make it better. I think we can make the city get working. I think we can get the city working better. We can make government function, and we can get the city working for more people. And there's a wonderful chance for us to do great things with the city.
Give us an example of what you see as just being done completely wrong.
A commitment to major projects. We've said yes to a sustainability center that might not be financially sustainable. We've said yes to a major highway interchange project I don't see how we're going to pay for. While very often the print media focuses on what they call pet projects, the things that are costing real money are the monster projects. And I think we have to be pretty disciplined about those things.
Are you saying no to CRC?
I'm saying the current plan, I don't see how you pay for it. Doesn't seem to make sense. So yeah, to the current plan for that, no.
Now, there's a disagreement there on whether or not there's even a need for a bridge. Some will tell you and have told us that the current bridge is going to fall down. Others have said this is really about cramming light rail down the throats of people in Clark County. What is it?
The current bridge is not going to fall down. It is it has about the same structural rating, I think, as the Markham Bridge. The only kind of earthquake that'll take it down is Japan-scale earthquake, which we should care about. The first priority of anybody in public office should be to protect the people and make sure we are keeping people safe. But if we were going to do a seismic plan, if what we wanted to do was worry about an earthquake, you wouldn't do that. First, you wouldn't necessarily commit yourself to a single bridge solution because, what if that falls down? The other is we've got, I think, 29 bridges according to ODOT, on our bridge system that are listed as structurally unsound. This is not one of the more unsound. And the last thing I'll say is I think a seismic retrofit would cost about $200 million. Right? Just tearing this bridge down costs $180 million. What really drives the cost is $1.5 billion to $2 billion in local interchanges. Right? That's pretty hard to afford. And by the way, you take the whole project, including interest, and according to at least one economist, it's $10 billion if they don't go over budget, which, as we've seen from lots of major projects, they often do.
All right. PDC, happy with the job they're doing? What would you change?
Yeah, I don't know that I would apply the word happy or maybe any emotion. What I would change is, first, I think we can increase and improve a habit around transparency. This is something that brought me to the race. I pitched and helped pass budget transparency in the state to put the state budget online. And I think that there's more we can do with the culture of PDC to make it really clear that the kinds of projects that are being done are not based on relationships or not based on sort of shady land deals, but based on our best outcomes and objectives and our best plans. Beyond that, I think we need to be careful with how we apply urban renewal dollars generally, making sure that where we can find opportunities, not just to create urban renewal zones, but in fact to close them down to get that money back on the tax rolls, we've also got to be more disciplined about that.
Randy Leonard endorsed you. How did that hurt fundraising? Did money dry up or did the phone stop ringing, or did it help? I say that because we love Randy.
I am honored and pleased to have Randy's support. We have an array of supporters, people who agree or disagree. Randy and I happen to disagree on some of the major projects I've discussed, but he has been committed to lots of things I think are important. He's been committed to East Portland, which is where I represent, and 27% of the population living east of 82nd Avenue, an area with no new seasons market, an area with no streetcar, an area that too often gets forgotten.
What can a mayor do about schools?
The first is to advocate. The first is to convene. The mayor essentially has three powers. One is to set the budget. Two is to divvy up the bureaus. And third is to be the mayor. If you do that wrong, that's the weakest power. If you do it right, it's the most important. And that means the power to convene, the power to advocate. That's the first. Second, we could stitch together nonprofits we've already got and youth employment programs we've already got and county libraries and the Sun schools we've already got to set an objective to have the most robust set of summer enrichment programs of any major city in the country. More and more information is showing perhaps the biggest driver in the achievement gap, not only between upper income and lower income students, but between students in the United States and students in India and China is in fact the summer gap. We could do something about that in this city. A mayor couldn't do it alone, but a mayor could show leadership.
All right, you ready for the Marketing Challenge?
Woohoo!
By the way, before we get to that, how's the driving?
It's going great. Somebody else is driving, so it's going great.
Doing much better. All right, here we go. Simple questions, simple answers. You ready? When it comes to TV, American Idol or The Voice?
The Wire.
That's off the grid.
Okay.
Favorite movie of the last year?
The Help.
Car or bike?
Unfortunately, too often a car, but I'm in favor of bikes too.
Blazers or Timbers?
Blazers.
Pinot or microbrew?
Come on, beer.
Jon Stewart or Brian Williams?
Jon Stewart.
Last book you read?
Reread Built to Last.
Now, why did you have to reread it? Did you not understand it the first time?
I get help with the big words. No, because it's a really good book and you forget stuff. Rereading is really valuable. It had been a decade.
If someone wrote a biography about Jefferson Smith, what would the title be?
It's the last thing I should concern myself with.
That'll be the title.
That's an interesting title, yes.
Yeah.
But, word
title.
How about this? A book you won't need to read twice? No? All right. And if you could trade
my own biography.
If you could trade places with anyone for a day, who would that be?
Blazers general manager or maybe Paul Allen.
Just to collect the interest on his millions?
Yeah, no, not for that.
Oh, okay.
But because there's things I'd like to see done with the team, and that'd be a really fun thing to do.
I think you should go for Paul Allen because the general manager is often fired. Although if you're there for a day, you might last the full day.
General manager is my first answer, but actually think Paul Allen. I'd like to.
Are you telling me we could have a mayor
investment.
that actually shows up at a Blazer game?
Oh yeah, I go to Blazer games. Don't get me wrong, I like the Timbers too, but I have to acknowledge I'm a longer term basketball fan.
All right, Jefferson Smith,
Thank
Representative. Thanks for being on with Mark and Dave, and good luck in your race for mayor. It's nice to hear him kind of whimsical today.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for coming in.